Welcome back to Hear Me Out. I'm Dee,
I'm E.
and today we're giving you guys another review. This time it's for The Night Agent.
Dun dun dun.
I loved it. I'm gonna just get that out because, I did. But what was The Night Agent about, ma'am?
So the synopsis of this, I think it was like 10 episodes on
Yeah.
Netflix. 10
Oh,
episodes.
hold on. Did I say movie review, guys? My bad. Show review.
So the synopsis is based on the novel by Matthew Quirk. The Night Agent is a sophisticated character-based action thriller centering a low-level FBI agent who works in the basement of the White House, manning a phone that never rings until one night that it does ring, propelling him into a fast-moving and dangerous conspiracy that ultimately leads all the way to the Oval Office, as it always does.
Always.
What if
Man. Okay, so E has been trying to get me to watch the show for some time, and I finally did, and I binged it in a day. Like,
I don't know how you binge 10 episodes because this was like almost an hour each.
okay, so I have been on vacation, sort of. I started a new job today, so I had taken a week off prior to starting. And during that time of unpacking, because also we moved, in between the unpacking, in between getting settled in, I was like, let me start something new because why not? We were home for the week and we decided to start this show pretty early in the day. And next thing you know, it was nighttime and we were finishing it and it was like awesome. We loved it. Um, okay. One of the things that, and I'm sure this happens to a lot of you guys, but one of the things that happens to me a lot is that whether it's a movie or show, I can tell fairly early on where it's going to go. I can tell, some plot points, some things that may happen. It kind of just becomes predictable sometimes. But I can honestly tell you, I had no freaking clue where this show was going. Like, and I'm racking my brain. Like, maybe it's this, or maybe it's that. I was thinking of all the conspiracies. Nope, none of it was right. It was like insane. Also, this is not one of those movies that you can put on in the background while you're scrolling on your phone or like playing on your phone or whatever. You have to pay attention. Literally. Every 5 seconds, something's happening. You cannot miss anything. Like, it was that crazy. It was really good. I enjoyed it. If it could keep me like entertained for a whole day, yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
And all the plots kind of like came together.
Hmm.
Everybody had their own little plot, but then
Yep.
the whole thing came together in the end. I absolutely love anything FBI,
Oh yeah.
anything political, anything government, CIA, NSA, FBI, like lawyers, doctors. I guess I like everything except scary stuff because I don't got time for that. It gives me a headache, makes my back hurt. It's a whole thing.
Okay.
But this was amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
I was really scared of those assassins. I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna catch you. Oh my, they seem batshit crazy. I mean, bat stuff crazy, guys. I don't
They
know.
really did.
And the unsung hero of this TV show is definitely Rose. She had no FBI experience, but here's a spoiler. She just starts killing people.
Yeah.
She gets revenge
Yep.
while the whole FBI trained guy gets his ass whooped
Yep.
a few times, and she
Yep.
comes to rescue him. And she's like a little scrawny, 100-pound girl, geeky girl who had a cybersecurity business, and she's like the real hero here. I kind
Yep.
of love this.
I love her character was my favorite character. Like, she was epic. She was hilarious. She was smart. She's pretty, but she could definitely hold her own. And yeah, she kicked butt in that movie, like, or show. She was like always just on it, where you had the lead character. Agent Sutherland, who was constantly conflicted by doing this or doing that. She was ready to steal keys for a car. She was ready to steal some clothes. She also stole some other stuff. Actually, a little bit of pickpocket. But she was always ride or die, like literal definition of ride or die. And the reason why he survived is because of her. She's the reason why the assassins, pretty much both of them, died because of her. Like, it was crazy and completely unexpected. They normally, I feel like in most shows and TVs, do not give that much power to female characters,
Mhm.
especially when it's like a male driven, drama or whatever. And in this case, I feel like she was definitely like holding her own, and it was really fun to watch. Honestly, she was definitely my favorite character. So crazy.
What is that? I forget that show. There was like another. Who's that character's name? I don't even remember the character's name, but there was like a show. I think the character's name was probably Jack. Was it Jack? And he was like in kind of, I know he was like some kind of government worker.
Were you thinking of 24?
24. That's the show. Yeah. His name was Jack, right?
I think so, yeah. Jack Bauer or something like
Jack
that.
Bauer. How can I forget
Yeah.
Jack Bauer?
Yeah.
So I feel like in a lot of these shows, like Jack Bauer in The Night Agent, Peter Sutherland, they always have this like very patriotic, like
I
I'm
know.
gonna save America, which is fantastic.
Sure,
But
yeah.
it's almost to their own detriment. Like
Yes.
Jack Bauer, basically, he lost his wife back the 24 show. He lost his wife. His daughter got kidnapped like 3 times. I don't even know how that happens. Um, he fell in love with a terrorist. Like he was willing to, help the president for this, that, and the third. They try to kill him. He was still loyal to his country. And I feel like that's the same with
Yeah.
Peter Sutherland. Like,
Yeah.
he was trying to help the people in the train, like because it had a bomb in it. Then they all of a
Yeah.
sudden blame him, blacklist him, like ruined his whole life. Diane Farr ain't ish, which is, the
Woo.
lady protege. I don't know what
He was a
she
chief of
is.
staff for the president.
Yeah, she ain't ish. So they ruined this man's career and then they continue to do so throughout, the episodes. So
Yeah.
they're like a runaway with Rose and, trying to stay alive and then uncover this whole conspiracy with the Oval Office. And at the end of the whole thing, then he becomes a night agent like nothing ever happened. Like what? Like they just dragged you multiple times, ran you
Mhm.
over, reverse, ran you over again, threw you in the river,
Yeah.
some alligators gnawed on your leg, like, and you still want to be a part of the FBI or the government?
Yeah.
Forget y'all. I don't know. I'm not built like that, but
I agree with your point. Like, they really do, like, defend, their country to their own detriment, to their own, like, possible life-ending scenarios. Like, it's
yeah,
it's insane. Um
we
and
did see that character also. I keep calling him Amenadiel from Lucifer.
monks,
Moss.
monks.
Monks.
Uh-huh.
Monks too. Like
Yeah.
he threw himself in front of the president. Then
Yeah.
he died, trying to uncover, get this girl back, the vice
Yeah.
president's daughter back.
Right.
Him too. And he's like a minor character. I feel like this happens on all kind of like government shows. Maybe
Right.
because I'm not a government agent or, somebody of civil service that
Yeah.
understands, but y'all crazy.
I mean, yeah, and then, the other thing too is like at the end of it, when it's discovered, like the whole conspiracy and the fact that the vice president was in on it and was, basically planning a whole coup and was going to get the president herself killed, along with a alleged terrorist, or whatnot. So, like, with all of that, that happened, it was like, okay, like, wait, what? Like, how do
This
we
is
get
kind
here?
of like 24 again.
Oh,
Didn't they
really?
say
I
like the
haven't.
vice? Like the vice president was trying to plot against, the guy from State Farm. What is his?
Not
What's his
Jake.
name? Huh?
Not
Is
Jake.
it State Farm or Allstate? No, Allstate.
All st-
Yeah, the guy from Allstate because he was the
yeah.
president. It's always the same plot, and I keep falling for it every time.
Always, always. But I think that like, you know, there was a pretty good like spin to it all. Um Throwing in the vice president's daughter and the ways in which like she was manipulated and everything, not just by her own father, but the people in her life, like her teacher who pretended to be into her, was actually in a relationship with the man the whole time. Um and then that man happened to kidnap her. That was the whole thing. Um, but I thought there was one of the things that I really liked was that they they were able to flesh out relationships that were aside from the main characters, right? So like I enjoyed watching the plotline about the vice president's daughter. I didn't know how it fit into everything else, but it all gets tied up together at the end.
Mhm.
I liked her relationship with Arrington, who was her Secret Service agent.
I
Um,
hated it.
well, I mean, I hated it, but I liked the way that they created it. Like, I liked
Mhm.
the development of it. I
Yeah.
liked the development of Arrington's relationship to monks and how that kind of came about. I like that the president was not the center of it all, like in your face. We knew, right, in the background that this all started because Rose's parent, aunt and uncle were actual night agents who were doing this project for the president. But the president wasn't someone who was constantly in your face. It wasn't necessarily a thing where it was like, oh, they were really a part of the whole thing. They were kind of more like a real side character, and I did like that because it didn't fully, emphasize about her in particular. And the main focus was on like Diane Farr, which is the chief of staff, the vice president, and then his lobbyist partner, whatever he was. I can't remember his name right now off the top
Wick?
of my head. What is it?
Wick?
Wick,
Yeah.
yeah, and how they were basically trying to like do all this craziness, um, and so I enjoyed seeing that development of these different other characters, and even just like with some of the people you met along the way, like with the older woman that Rose and Peter met, and how she like helped them out, and then she was killed, and then it's like I kind of felt bad for her, like even though we met her just for 2 seconds, but so I enjoy the development, the character development that they had and these side plots that they had going on. Um, which, a lot of time I feel like shows, especially some movies, don't do so great of a job of doing. So that was, I think, in large part also what helped me to like really like the show, that it wasn't just so focused on Peter and him trying to save the world, right? It was like there was more depth to it and to everything else that was going around.
I was just just surprised at how good the show was and how they
Yeah.
removed like all the fluff and
Yeah.
how everything like tied together. There will be a season 2 because as soon as I
Yay!
finish, I have to like look it up. So it might be about Peter Sutherland being a night agent.
Right.
I don't know how Rose fits into this, but I would love her back. I
She
think she's
benefiting.
great.
It's gonna be
Why
a
am I
problem
so bad?
because I'll fight Netflix. Don't get me started. She's a great character.
She is a great character. I also I always find like characters like Diane Farr's so interesting because they feel like they are know-it-all. Very Cyrus Bean from Scandal.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, I have to protect the president. Just like we were talking about Peter and Jack Bauer, like
Yeah.
throwing themselves for the government,
Hmm.
long live America. These people are like loyal to a fault with
Yeah.
the president. Like, oh, I know what's best. Let me protect them. Which, I think is great. But I'm like,
Sure.
really? I think you should have discussed that with her first. Like, why did you get involved in
I
this
know.
spiraled out of control for no
Yeah.
reason? A
It
simple
really did.
conversation would have removed the vice president who
Yep.
was doing shady crap behind her back anyway.
Yep.
And we could have kept it moving.
Definitely. Like that was a little excessive. It was a little bit much. The one thing that I thought was also, or one of the things that I thought was interesting, like how I mentioned that, the focus wasn't so much on the president, but the president behind the scenes knew something was up. because she
Mhm.
sure did start pulling Diane far away from certain things, and she kind of was just like discussing a personnel change. Something in her knew that there was a problem and that something was going on with Diane, which normally, like the presidents, they always kind of make them seem gullible and like they just like never know
Yeah.
what's going on. So she seemed to like kind of know what was going on. But I'm interested to see in the next season if there's going to be congressional hearings on the fact that like most of her staff was crooked.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she didn't seem to know about it. I mean, she seemed to know about Diane, but hello, your VP girl, your VP tried to kill you.
I
Like
know. And the whole daughter, like, basically snitching out her dad because she hates him. I'm
she
like, Lord.
was. Yeah. So it was definitely a good show. Like I would totally recommend it. It was a lot of fun to watch. Um and honestly, like Peter Sutherland's character, the actor and everything was pretty good. But Rose really helped like him flourish because him interacting with other people, I was just kind of like, eh. He was kind of dull, kind of boring. Once Rose came into his life, it was like, okay, cool. He's good. I like him.
Well, kudos to Rose.
Yeah, yeah.
So I guess that concludes this episode. Let us know what you think about the night agent. Like, who was your favorite character? Do you, believe us or agree with us when we say, these people are crazy? Like being so loyal to the government. Don't arrest
Seriously.
me though. I'm loyal, but you know, yeah, they're crazy.
Oh,
So
yeah.
let us know what you think. If you have any other movie recommendations or show recommendations, please let us know. We'll watch it and we'll review it and talk about it. So please subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Also, please share with your friends. We're trying to grow our community. So we want your besties to be our besties and we could all be besties. We love doing this kind of content where we're just like reviewing things and talking about fashion, talking about random stuff. Actually, you guys see us arguing here. This is what
Yeah.
we do on the phone, just
Yeah.
argue about stuff in a loving way. So yeah, please share with your friends. We would greatly appreciate it. We also have social media, and Dee's going to tell you a little bit more about it.
We are on Instagram and TikTok. Hear me out, DNE. And you can also go directly to our the Instagram logo that's on our channel's banner, which will take you directly to the page where you can follow us, you can interact, share, like, and just basically be a part of our community, which is, what we're trying to grow and what we are enjoying just like having this large, contingency of people already now that like have been interacting. This has been a lot of fun. I really like it.
All right, guys, till the next movie or show review. Peace out.
Bye.